In last video, we told you all about New Zealand visa process, and as promised, in this video, we will tell you step-by-step process of filling the New Zealand visa form online. So first thing first, go to Google and type Realme New Zealand, and the first link that you are going to get would be the official link for New Zealand visa application. Now here, you will have to log in, and if you do not have already created a login account, then you'll have to create a Realme login account here, for which when you click on that, you will land to a page where you will have to provide your email address, username and password to create a new account. And if you have already, then what you can do is you can go to the page and log in using your username and password. Once you log in, you will land to your My Dashboard page where it will be a summarized version of all your visa application processes. On the My Visa page, you will get the option to apply for a new visa, or if you have already applied, you will get the status of the visa, and if the visa is already issued, then you will also get an option to download. Now let's start a fresh application by clicking on apply for visa. You will land to a page where you will get all the details about the documents that are needed. I have already explained in detail about the documents that are required in my previous video, so if you go and check it out, you will get all the details over there. For the application process, you will also need a credit or debit card that has an international transaction already enabled on that, because you'll be paying the visa fee in the New Zealand dollar. Next, you will have to select what kind of visa you need. For us, it will be temporary visa. Now it will ask you whether you are applying from outside in New Zealand. You need to click yes. Next, you will have to select the type of visa. For us, it will be a visitor visa, because for tourist visa, this is the visa that you need. Next, you will have to select whether you are a resident of Australia, because for Australian citizens, you need not have visa, and for us, obviously, it is going to be no, because we are applying from India. Then they'll ask you the purpose of your visit. Here, obviously, you will have to select tourism or holiday. After this, you will have to provide the reason why do you want to visit New Zealand. Here, you will need to select I am coming for a holiday or vacation. Basis the answers given to the questions, it will tell you what kind of visa you need. Here for us, it will be general visitor visa that is required for us to go as a tourist. After clicking on start my application, you will land to a page where you will see primary applicant already created, and after that you can also add another applicant like your spouse or children, because remember I told you that if you do so, then you need not pay the visa fee again and again. It's a reduced amount. So this is how you will add a secondary applicant. Once you have added it, now let's go to the principal applicant and continue the form fill. On this page, you will find different sections where you will have to provide your information like purpose of visit, character, health, employment history, relationship status, and supporting documents, etc. Right? So all of these sections needs to be filled very carefully, and I'll show you how to fill all of these sections. On the identity information, the first thing what you need to understand is that whether you have a surname on your passport or not. For example, for me, I do not have a surname. So if I click on yes, I'll have to enter the full name that I have on my passport. And if you have a surname, then you will click no, and you will give your first name and the last name. And if you have a middle name, then you will provide the middle name as well. So let's quickly fill this up. After filling the name, you will have to confirm whether you have used any other name in the past or not, and you have to make the selection accordingly. You will also see a warning sign, but you need to ignore this if you have already filled your name correctly. Otherwise, go ahead and check the name properly. Next section is all about whether you have traveled New Zealand earlier or not. The first thing they'll ask you from which country are you applying from, so which is going to be India, and then whether you have already have a New Zealand visa, previously applied for New Zealand visa, do you have like Australian visa, or have you ever traveled to New Zealand, etc. Right? So accordingly, you make your choices and select the answer. The next section will be all about passports and birth details. So go ahead and fill it up very accurately, looking at your passport, all the details you need to fill which is there in your passport. In the next section, they'll ask for national identity details. Here what you need to do is you need to fill your Aadhaar number. After this, you will have to select whether you hold any other citizenship or not, and post that you need to upload your photo. Now photo dimensions are given here. Accordingly, you will have to upload a photo. What you can do is like whatever passport size photo you have, you scan it and then resize it according to the dimension that they have given. And it will also give you a confirmation whether it is good to go or not. After this, you need to provide your contact details. The contact details will be your address, and it should be where you are currently residing. Post this, you need to provide your email address, and make sure this email address that you provide is accessible to you, because this is where you are going to get your New Zealand e-visa. After this, you will have to provide your contact number where they can contact you in case it is required. With this, you have completed your first section. Click on save and continue to land onto the next section, which is your purpose of visit. In this section, you will see some of the fields already pre-filled, and these are the questions that you have already answered at the beginning of the application, so you need not edit it again. After this, you will get to financial support section, where you need to select whether you are able to support your travel yourself or not. Basis the answer provided, it will ask you additional questions. For example, whether the accommodation is already prepaid or not. Ideally, you should select yes and provide the hotel which you have already booked, let's say refundable hotel from booking.com. So select one of those from the drop down, and after that they have a requirement of at least minimum New Zealand $400 should be available for each person. You should select yes that you have that much money, and what evidence are you going to provide for onward travel, because this is something like flight booking they are asking for. So you should say that I already have one. Now, next section is a bit confusing because it says that whether you require a multiple journey visa, and it also asks you to select yes if you intend to travel in and out of New Zealand with this visa. So we selected yes, and any which way it doesn't matter much because they are going to give you anyway a multiple entry visa. So select the estimated arrival day in New Zealand and then the out when you are going to come out of the New Zealand. So select that accordingly as per your flight booking that you have already made. The next section is applicable if one of the applicants are under 16 years of age, then you need to provide it. Otherwise you just select no and move ahead to character section. Now this is a fairly easy one to fill. Ideally you would select everywhere no. If you select yes, then you'll have to provide reasoning for that. The next section is about health declaration. Again, here it's pretty straightforward. You need to select almost no to all of these, but if you have any condition, then you should mention that yes, and then provide any details for that. After this, you need to select the length of stay. This is required because basis this they'll ask you whether you need a medical examination or not. For us, it was 1 month or less, so you need not go for a medical examination. However, they will also ask you whether you already have a medical examination for a current visa application. For us, it was not, so we selected no and moved forward. Now the next section, employment history, is an important one because basis this they determine that what is your intent, whether you will come back to India or not. So if you are working currently, then you select yes and then provide the detail of your current work since when you have started working over there, and this is going to be the recent one. You have to also provide your job title, the country where you are working, the address of the employer, the name, details, everything that you need to fill on this page. And let's say if you're not employed, then you need to select no and provide the details. Let's say if you have your own business or if you're a freelancer, then you need to provide the details of that. The next section is going to be relationship section. It is going to be a very straightforward. You need to select the details of your relationship status, whether you're single, married, or what is your current status. And it will also ask you whether your current partner is included in this application or not. For us, it was, so we selected yes. And they will also ask whether you have a contact in New Zealand. For us, it was no, so we clicked no and moved forward. The next section asks you about immigration assistance, where you have already taken a service from, let's say, agent. But for us, it was because we're filling it ourselves, we selected no. Again, the next section was also that have you ever received assistance from or immigration advice from anybody? We said no, and we moved forward. After this, you will have to provide all the supporting documents for your visa. Here the requisite is that you will have to upload the documents in English. So if you do not have one, you need to get it translated. The first thing obviously you will upload is your passport, and then after that the Aadhaar that we provided, the copy of that. And if you have any household registration, for example you have a property, then you need to provide that also. And if you are living in a country which is not your country of citizen, then you need to select the accordingly yes or no and provide the details. After this, in the next section, you will have to upload the detailed itinerary of your New Zealand visit. So if you need the format that we use for ourselves, go ahead and check it out in the description box. You need to modify it and then upload it accordingly as per your plan. After this, you need to provide that you would return back to India. For this, you need to upload your salary slips, the leave certificate, things like that. And if you're a business, then you need to upload your company registration details. In the next section, you will have to provide details of the funds that you have, for which you will have to upload your bank statement, which is of the last 6 months, and you will have to provide the details of the bank statement, which bank it is and how much balance do you have. So provide all those information in this section. Next, you will have to also upload here your hotel bookings for entire duration and also the flight reservation, how you are going to come into the New Zealand and how you are going to come out of the New Zealand. After this, just select the declaration and then click on save and continue. So if you're applying solo, then this is the process you'll have to follow. But let's say if your spouse is also traveling with you, then you'll have to fill the secondary applicant details as well. The form is pretty much similar, so I'll go a little faster, but I'll stop where you need to fill some extra information and extra documents that you need to provide. So on the first page, at the very last section, you will have to provide your contact details. Here they'll ask you whether your contact detail is same as the principal applicant. You can select yes and then save and continue to go to the next section. So the next section is where you will provide information about your relationship with the applicant. So let's say if you're applying as a spouse, then you will select either husband or wife depending on who is applying, and then provide more details about this relationship. Something like how genuine is your relationship, whether you are happy in the marriage, etc. And for this you'll have to provide also some documentary proof, and I'll tell you more about what all can be provided, but here you select accordingly. Mostly you will have to select yes, and in some cases you'll have to select no. So next two sections, for example, character and health, will be more or less the same, and you'll have to select the appropriate answer and move forward. On the health page, one thing you will have to select, because we had selected wife as a relationship, so here they'll ask also about the pregnancy, whether the person is pregnant or not. Accordingly select yes or no, and then provide other information which is required. Post this, remaining sections are pretty standard, which we have already filled in the first applicant's details. So here again you will select accordingly and provide the information. Now supporting document is a very important section here, because here you will have to provide additional information or additional documents that I spoke about, which is relationship evidence. Here you will have to provide the details like marriage certificate, and also the genuine and stability of the relationship. The way you will prove it is by providing, let's say, your joint bank statement, or if you have a house that you both are owner of, that you will provide that information. And also to share that you are in a happy relationship, what you can do is also share your Instagram profile or any other document that you feel like will be supporting. We provided our Instagram account. We also provided our visa copies, that okay, see how we are traveling together. So that is how we provided that we are in a genuine and happy relationship. Apart from that, the other proofs are pretty standard. One thing that you will have to do here is also attach a permission and authority, because you are applying on behalf of your spouse. So you'll have to basically get the document, which declaration form, which printed, and then get it signed by the applicant, the secondary applicant, and then scan it again, and then you upload back onto the supporting document list. After this, just complete the declaration and submit the application. So this is how you will apply as a group for New Zealand visa. For New Zealand visa, the documents are really important, and hence I would recommend that you go ahead and keep the documents ready, scan it and keep it in a folder. For example, cover letter, which is very important, itinerary application, which is very important. All of these things you need to prepare very accurately, and provide all other documents like broadband, car rentals, house agreement, everything that we have put here, to show them that we are a genuine applicant and we do not have any intent of overstaying there. You can see the Instagram profile also. This is how we have attached. And if you want to use the letter format that we use for our New Zealand visa, for example, for cover letter, for itinerary, for HR, NOC, etc., I have given the link in the description box. Go ahead and check it out, or you can scan this QR code as well to get your cover letter. Once you have successfully submitted the New Zealand visa application, you will see the status of your visa again in the same dashboard. And once your visa is approved, you will receive the same in your email, which will look something like this. So that's it, guys. Hope you liked our video and it was useful to you. If you have any question that you want to ask, please put it in comment box and we'll definitely answer that for you. And if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do so.